हे भगवान, अब क्या नाटक है इसका? जस्ट मिनट। हाँ, आई थिंक वी कैन record now.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, guys. Let's go ahead, everybody. Where were we? GST. Remember, no? GST also, by the way. Correct. So we were in section 7 and still dealing with what? Supply. Yes? Okay. What have we covered if you remember? Supply with consideration in furtherance or course of business. That also we have covered. Sale, lease, all of that. है ना? Then we have also covered, बच्चों, schedule 1 without consideration. Understood, everybody? Then we have covered what? Tell me. Schedule 2 was what? Bifurcation between goods or services. Schedule 3 is, बच्चों, neither goods nor services, therefore not a supply. Yes? Schedule 1 without consideration, the supply is between related persons and, or you can say or also, distinct persons, it is still a supply. Related person, again, there was a big list. One of them is what? Family members. In family members, spouse, children, correct here. But parents, brothers, sisters need to be dependent to be a family member. Something like was like that. Only then they are related. Hi, Anna. Fine. Then again, one person controls two companies or two companies control one company. That also relation we had seen in case of related parties. है ना? At least 25% voting power in both of them. What else? We had also seen distinct persons. Now understand, distinct persons we have seen with reference to what? Registration chapter. Remember around, I think around section 25 something it was given. It is 22 also, 22, 23, 24. That entire that chapter is about registration. But yes, section 25 talks about distinct persons. What did you understand importantly about distinct persons? Is every GSTIN, GSTIN means GST identification number, is every GSTIN a unique person? Everybody. Yes, it is unique person. Clearly, correct, Kushbu. Yes, okay, yeah. So even if it is a branch transfer, stock transfer from one state to another, you are transferring to yourself from one state to another to your branch. It is a supply, taxable. That means taxable means GST will be applicable. You're transferring from one branch to another branch in the same state, but the branches were separately registered. They have unique GSTIN. It is also a transfer. Understood, everybody? If there is a person who is registered under GST, important, third category, very important. If a person is registered under GST in one state and in another state, Bacho is doing a business of alcoholic liquor for human consumption, that other branch selling liquor, that is not registered. But again, if it transfers from registered location to unregistered location, even that is a transfer. Hi, Anna. Because those locations, those branches are treated as what? Establishment of what? Registered person. Huh? Establishment of the same person. Something like that. That wording was there. Hai na? Do you remember all of this? Correct, everybody? Huh? Even in related person, bacho, even employer-employee is related, tell me. Employer-employee related? Yes. Principal-agent related? Yes. Hai na? Understood or no, everybody? Clear earlier? Fine. Can I go ahead, everybody? Huh? Then, I mean, randomly things I'm remembering. From morning 8 o'clock, I take lecture. Morning 8 o'clock, bacho, I'm taking assignment and sequencing. You might have seen lots of time on my screen, hai na? 12th standard something. Their revision done. Next lecture in CA formulation, permutation combination. Their formula keeping in mind, you know, that concept. Then again coming back to law. So it is taking me a little bit time to just come back and warm up on the syllabus, and then it is also good for us. Fine, chalega aage. Let's go ahead, everybody. Let's go ahead. Okay, where were we? Gift from employer to employee, how much exempt? Fatafat, tell me, bacho, fatafat, if you remember. Gift from employer to employee, how much is exempt? 50,000, 50. Okay, everybody? Yeah. Above that, it is taxable. Other things, bacho, we had covered. Okay? Chalo, let's come to this part. Okay? This will take some time, so please be careful. Give good attention. Pay attention now. Principal agent. Schedule 1. As soon as I say, bacho, Schedule 1, what comes to your mind? Only those transactions are in Schedule 1 which are without consideration. Correct, Ilya? Still, they are supply. Understood, everybody? Still, bacho, they are supply. Clear? Chalo. So supply between principal to agent, agent to principal is also a supply. But for that now lots of things we need to keep into consideration. Okay, the things are not that simple. And as it is in other laws, you might have done na contract of agency, है ना? Chalo, let's ready. You ready? Chalo. Supply of goods by a principal to his agent. Obviously, generally, normally without consideration. Agent doesn't buy from principal and then he's selling. Agent takes goods from principal and then he sells and maybe he recovers money and pays back to the principal, whatever. Arrangement can be anything. So supply of goods by a principal to his agent without consideration, where agent undertakes to supply such goods on behalf of the principal, is considered as supply. Agent selling to third parties is supply, or principal giving goods to agent is supply. Bacho, which are we talking about right now? Just a minute.
Recording stopped.
Read. I'll just be back in a minute. Okay, where were we? Sorry. Can we start?
Recording in progress.
So we're talking about principal to agent supply. Clear here? Principal to agent is also supply. So again on that GST will be levied, correct? Similarly, supply of goods by an agent to his principal without consideration, where agent undertakes to receive such goods on behalf of the principal, is also considered a supply. See, in this case, pay attention. Agent is selling to third parties. We just now we had covered in even other laws, contract of agency, and here agent is buying on behalf of the principal. Agree till here? Correct? Now the goods obviously will go, or let us say whatever. He's transferring some stock to the principal, or he has bought for the purpose of principal. He found out some goods suitable for the principal, and now he's sending it to the principal. Correct? Here, principal sent him some goods to be sold, and agent is selling it further. Clear till here? We are discussing mainly now which relationship right now, or which transaction we are interested in right now is supply, because that will be mainly without consideration, is principal to agent or agent to principal. Understood? We are discussing this one. This is covered in para 3 of schedule 1. Clear? Can we go ahead? 2.30, okay? Is it okay? Chalo. Points which whatever time pass. Only supply of goods and not supply. And star mark. Only supply of goods and not supply of services. When you will revise, whenever ever you revise, bacho, wherever I've done star mark, let it be in income tax or law or GST, whatever it is, always be careful with it, okay? So principal to agent or agent to principal. Without considering, only goods are getting covered in schedule 1, not services. Supply of goods between principal and agent without consideration is also a supply. This is also okay. The supply of services between principal and agent and vice versa would therefore require consideration to be considered as supply, and thus then liable to GST. Did you understand something or no? That means, can I put a case over here? Principal to agent or agent to principal service without consideration. Tell me, chalo. Is it a supply or not a supply? Tell me. Because without consideration, if you look at the definition of section 7 which you had seen, without consideration, not only you have to jump directly to schedule 1 only, bacho. Hai na? Now schedule 1 covers this case or what? Tell me everybody. Principal to agent or agent to principal without consideration. Service. Is that covered? No, that is not covered. So this is a supply or not a supply, bacho? This is not a supply. Are haan ya na? Understood, Kushbu? So only small change if I do. If I convert, if I write instead of service, if I write bacho goods, other things remaining same, then bacho it will be a supply. Clear till here? Small notes or small things, sticky notes also you can put and write down these things, okay? Can I go ahead, everybody? Chalega? Chalo. In order to determine whether a particular principal agent's relationship falls in para 3 of schedule 1. Now please pay attention. Here we are not doing directly contract of agency, contract of agency. So we'll have to look from GST point of view whether there is a principal agency relationship or not, okay? So to satisfy as para 3 of schedule 1. Okay, everybody? The deciding factor is whether the invoice for further supply of goods on behalf of principal is being issued by the agent or not. Okay? Whatever invoice for further supply, it is issued by agent or not. In other words, the crucial point is whether or not agent has the authority to pass or receive the title of the goods on behalf of the principal. Okay? So here बच्चों for para 3 schedule 1, the deciding factor to determine whether there is principal agency relationship or not, what we see, agent has authority or not to pass the title to the third party. Yes, check. Where the invoice for further supply is being issued by the agent in his own name, then any provision of goods from principal to the agent would fall within the scope of para 3 above. In his name, okay, in his own name. Clear earlier? Then it is a supply between principal to agent, agent to principal. However, where the invoice is issued by the agent to the customer in the name of the principal, such agent shall not fall in the ambit of para 3 above. Yes, earlier? And at the time of purchase, let us check. Similarly, where the goods are being procured by the agent on behalf of the principal are invoiced in the name of agent, then further provision of the said goods by agent, then further sending or provision means providing of said goods by agent to the principal will be bachcho again para 3. So again let me say, okay, principal agency relationship as such, or let me say para 3 schedule 1 is applicable if what is important? Whose name? Let it be in the case of buying or selling. Invoice, correct. If invoice in name of agent. Are हाँ, important. See, these are small things which you have to keep in mind. Understood? Okay. If he is part of para 3 schedule 1, then bachcho, supply to agent from agent to principal or principal to agent, schedule 1 applicable, it is supply. Understood? So similarly, let me say, if the invoice is in the name of principal during selling or even during buying, this is not applicable. Para 3 schedule 1, not applicable. So in that case, even if principal gives to agent or agent gives to principal, is not a supply. Are you getting my point or no? Again, same thing. Na? If at all I replace this word agent with principal, other things remaining same as such, let us say. This is not applicable na then. This becomes bachcho not applicable. And now if this is not applicable, then any transfer from principal to agent, agent to principal is not a supply. I hope all of you understood. Yes or no? Khushbu okay or no? Fine till here? So we have to look at the applicability. You don't have to remember from both point of view. Even if you remember from one point of view is also okay. Na? So invoice should be in the name of agent, then para 3 schedule 1 applicable. Simple. Okay? Chalo. The above clarification can be understood with the help of example. Examples of all ICI study material I have told you 1,000 times. All very important. Even if it is small example, big example, all examples important. Even if it is between the paragraph. An example number is not written, still important. Clear? Today only we saw na bachcho for what? General Clauses Act. What did we see? Right to catch or carry fish. Remember or no? It is what? It is movable property, removable, immovable. So they ask you such questions, MCQ based questions also. Okay? Chalo. Anmol appoints Bholu. So this guy is principal and Bholu is agent. To procure means obviously buy certain goods from market. Bholu identifies various suppliers who can provide the goods as desired by Anmol and asks the supplier Golu to send the goods and to issue the invoice directly to Anmol. Okay, Khushbu, no problem. Yeah, take care. In this scenario, Bholu is only acting as a procurement agent. Can he transfer the title as such? Invoice bachcho is in the name of principal and has in no way involved himself in the supply or receipt of the goods. Okay? Hence, in the so-and-so case, Bholu is not an agent bachcho as per para 3 schedule 1. Clear till here? And to send the goods and to issue the invoice directly to Anmol. Clear? Another example, let us say. Money Bank. Wow. What nice name they thought of. A banking company. Ready? Appoints Mandar auctioneer to auction certain goods. Auctioneer is an agent, no? If at all we have seen also in contract of agency, it can be substituted agent also, by the way. You know? Anyways, but agent, yes. The auctioneer arranges for the auction and identifies the potential bidders. The highest bid is accepted and the goods are sold to the highest bidder by the bank. By the bank. Hi, Anna. The invoice for the supply of goods is issued by the bank. Clear? So is it in the name of auctioneer, the invoice? No. Again, Bacho, he is not, na? So Mandar Bacho is not an agent as per para 3 schedule 1. Clear till here, everybody? He is merely providing his services and no role is being played in the supply of goods. Fine till here? Let's go ahead. Gautam, an artist, appoints Gambhir. Chakas. Kya nice name they give, na? Nice. Gautam appoints Gambhir, auctioneer, to auction his painting. Okay. Gambhir arranges for the auction and identifies the potential bidders. Fine. The highest bidder is accepted and the painting is sold to the highest bidder. The invoice for the supply is issued by Gambhir. Change bacho now. The invoice is issued by agent on behalf of Gautam, but in his own name. Own name means obviously Gambhir's name, na? The auctioneer's. And the painting is delivered successfully to the bidder. Yes or no? In this scenario, Gambhir is not merely providing auctioneering services but is also supplying the painting on behalf of Gautam and has the authority to transfer the title to the buyer. Hi, Anna. Here he is bacho covered under para 3 schedule 1. Yes, Celia? A C&F agent. Okay, C&F, your cost and freight, na? Your carriage and freight, cost and freight also you call it agent. Basically, who takes care of all the transfer, okay, from one country to another country. Recently also I was trying to check, just for the sake of example that we were discussing, how do I import some goods from China? And then the easiest way you always find is to appoint a C&F agent. He will take all the care of bacho. Basically, I tell him to go to the factory in China and procure the material. So he is a local buyer, let us say, in China. And then bacho, from there he does all the export services. Yes, and then for that he charges me some, not some, but commission. So let us say whatever it is, I pay a particular price to that factory in China. That is X factory price. X factory price means what? I think we had discussed somewhere. X factory, I think we in Soga we had discussed, Soga, sale of goods at. X factory means what is the price I'm willing to sell it for, and the goods will be delivered outside my factory. You come to my factory and collect. Understood, deliver all of you? So that is the manufacturing cost, let us say, whatever that guy is leaving the factory. And from that, till India, till I receive at my location, whatever warehouse, that virtual work is done by C&F agent. And again, the C&F agents have their own network, na? Clear till here? So cost and freight agent, or you can say carriage and freight, the same thing, agent or commission agent, takes possession of the goods from principal. He took the possession and issues the invoice in his own name. Yes, till here? Fine. In such case, the C&F commission agent is an agent of the principal as per para 3 schedule 1. Clear? The disclosure or non-disclosure of the name of principal is immaterial in such situation. Gone. This much we had seen in contract act, but not here. Okay, we are not in contract act now. Ready? Chalo. Ravi sells. So nice examples they have given. Okay, pay attention. Ravi sells agricultural produce. Ravi sells agricultural produce by utilizing the services of Kavi. Ravi Kavi. Nice. Who is a commission agent? You might have heard about Adat. Maybe. Okay, I'm not sure. It is called different in different languages. Maybe. Adat agent. AD8. Adat. Or Adat only. Correct. Basically, when he's a commission agent, he buys from farmers in bulk and sells in the market. That which market you call it? Market yard. You might have heard about market yard means what? What do you call it? That wholesale market. Okay. So in the wholesale market, the agents. I'm talking about those agents. Understood or no? Everybody? Yeah. So the commission agent, as per, now pay attention. Ravi sells to Kavi, and Kavi is a commission agent. Are you understanding commission agent, everybody? Yeah. As per APMC Act. As per APMC Act, that means let us say Bachu is registered in that APMC Act. Okay, he's authorized to sell on behalf or buy on behalf of the farmers. Or basically he'll buy at XYZ rate and sell at XYZ rate. Okay. Kavi identifies the buyers and sells identifies the buyers, the customers, and sells agriculture produce on behalf of Ravi, for which he charges a commission from Ravi. अरे हाँ ठीक है. Now as per the law, as per the APMC Act, the commission agent is a person who buys and sells or facilitates buying and selling of agriculture produce on behalf of the principal and receives by way of remuneration a commission or percentage upon. That is completely okay. But what wordings are using on behalf of his principal? We are mainly interested in what, बच्चों, as per GST law, who issues invoice. हाँ या ना? Understood? That is the main concern in GST, to determine whether there is principal agency relationship or not as per para 3 schedule 1. अरे हाँ. In cases where invoice is issued by Kavi, बच्चों, Kavi is who? Agent. Okay. To the buyer. Then बच्चों para 3 schedule 1 applicable. अरे हाँ. However, in cases where invoice is directly issued by the farmer, let us say, okay, Ravi to the buyer, then बच्चों Kavi doesn't fall under para 3. Same thing, entire big story they gave you, but again ultimately the summary or concept is still the same. Yes, still, yeah, that is okay. Para 3 schedule 1, is it clear? Depends on invoice. Okay, chalo. Then we have some other cases, clarification. So it is just not a law or notification. There is a clarification of issues pertaining to Dell creditor agent. But so first of all, who is a Dell creditor agent? You might have done in accounts, maybe, or maybe in maths also. Can I call him as an underwriter? Not undertaker, please. Okay, not undertaker. Okay, Khushbu. He's like a bachcho underwriter. What does an underwriter do? I mean, okay, what does Dell creditor do? He sees to it that there are no bad dates for the principal. If you remember. If you don't remember, then understand. Hai na? He's an agent who guarantees to the principal that there will be no bad debts. And to guarantee that there will be no bad debts, he charges higher commission. Higher commission than a normal agent. Okay? Or if there is a bad debt, I will pay. He takes the risk of finding the customers and a good customer. Good customer means good credit. Yes? Are हाँ. Now, I'm still taking all of these also, okay? So understand. A question was posed by the industry. That means again, this happens. Nirmala madam, hai na, brings some new provisions or some notifications, and it tries to cover many things, but very good, Indrajit. Huh. But again, the industry as such overall obviously may have questions that what will happen in what cases. If you remember TCS, we have done in income tax. In the case of that car being sold for more than rupees 10 lakhs, there has to be a TCS of 1%. On that 10-12 questions were given. Hi, na? FAQs, if you remember. So the department has to come with some answers because industry has issues. And industry means companies or people or businessmen, they don't want litigation with the department. Okay? So they are asking for clarification. So that is the concept. So a question was posed by industry whether supply, pay attention now, whether supply between principal and Dell creditor would also be covered under Schedule 1 or no. Okay? The government clarified doubt of industry by way of following clarification. Before going through that clarification, let us understand what is a DCA. Okay? He is a selling agent who is engaged by a principal to assist in supplying goods or services by contacting potential customers. The fact that DCA guarantees the payment to the supplier. Okay? Finally, here. In such scenarios where the buyer fails to make, amazing examples are coming up now. Okay? So please pay attention. In such scenarios where buyer fails to make payment to the principal by the due date, understand now, DCA makes payment to the principal on behalf of the buyer. Interesting example. Who is making much payment to who? The DCA, your Dell creditor agent, will make payment to the principal. Principal is happy now. Principal got his money. But whether DCA has some extra money, whether DCA wants to do some charity donation, extra money and is paying to principal? No, that is not the logic. So what will this DCA will do, Dell creditor agent? Will he recover or not from the buyer? He will recover. And he will also recover interest from the buyer. Yes? Okay, everybody? Clear, no? Effectively providing an insurance against default by the buyer. I mean, so the seller is safe now. And for this reason, the commission paid to DCA may be higher than the normal agent. Clear? That is okay, chalo. In order to guarantee timely payment to the supplier, the DCA can resort to or use, मतलब resort means he can take help of, resort to any method, including, understand, important now, including extending short-term loan to the buyer. Means what? He enters into a different transaction, separate independent transaction with the buyer, and he gives him a temporary loan, mini loan or whatever. Mini loan means micro loan or whatever. Maybe for 7 days, 10 days, small amount. Did you understand or bouncer? There is a principal, there is your Dell creditor agent, and there is a third party. We are doing agency only since 2-3 days. Yes, Celia? Now, who dishonored? But the third party is unable to make payment. So DCA makes a payment. Done or no? To the principal on behalf of third party. How? In a way, bacho, he enters into one more contract. Okay, pay attention. How? He enters into a contract with this third party telling that, okay, I approve you a loan. Sign this document, etc. See, money is with DCA. Why will DCA give to third party and then again then from third party to principal? One and the same thing only, na? Yes or no, everybody? So he enters into in this he enters into a transaction of loan with the third party. Clear till here? So supply of loan is also a service only. है कि नहीं बच्चों? So check. Okay, so by extending short-term transaction-based loans to the buyer or paying the supplier himself and then recovering the amount from buyer with some interest on a later date. This loan is to be repaid by buyer along with interest to the DCA, that agent, bacho, at mutually agreed rate. That is also completely okay. So on this now there was various scenarios and a clarification is given. Is it okay, everybody? Fine till here? Chalega na? Ready? Sure. So circular number so and so of 2018 has clarified the following issues in this regard. Whether a DCA falls under the ambit of para 3 schedule 1. Okay, ready? Chalo. As already clarified while so and so circular, you know, whether or not DCA falls under para 3 schedule 1 depends on possible scenarios. What? In case where the invoice for supply of goods is issued by supplier to the customer, either himself or through DCA, but invoice is in the name of principal. Hi, na? DCA does not fall under the directly bacho under the clause of agent. Clear till here? So there is no question only. Even if DCA bacho, even if in case of the DCA, understood? If invoice, you can write down here principal, is in the name of the principal, DCA also does not fall under schedule 3 para 1. Ulta bola. Para 3 schedule 1. In cases where invoice is bacho issued by DCA in his own name, then first of all he becomes an agent. Okay, everybody? Fine till here? So that is the first level, you can say. First level means again first level clarification, or you can say first level filter, in whose name the invoice is given. Is it okay, everybody? Can I go ahead? Chalo. Now, whether, pay attention, okay? Pay attention. Whether the temporary short-term transaction loan, okay, extended by DCA to the buyer, for which interest is charged by the agent, is to be included in the value. This is the question. Is to be included in the value of goods being supplied by the principal, where DCA is not an agent under para 3. Understand the example. Okay, pay attention. There is principal, samjha? DCA is there, and then there is a third party. Okay? We are doing a which case first? DCA is not your agent as per schedule 3 para 1. Just answer quickly. Who issues invoice? Correct. Principal, DC or third. You can just write in short also. Invoice. In the name of principal. Principal can directly send invoice, or principal through DCA can send invoice to third party. That is also okay, but the invoice is in the name of principal. Clear? So ये बच्चों is DCA, not an agent. हाँ या ना बच्चों? Which agent I'm talking about? Schedule 1 para. Schedule 1 para 3, okay? Fine. Okay. Yeah. Is he actually an agent real life? Yes, huh? Okay, I hope that much is okay. He is not as per schedule para 3 schedule 1. Why? Because invoice was in the name of principal. Fine. That is your first level filter. Now what has happened? Third party bacho is not making the payment. And this guy, who guy? Which guy bacho? Pay attention now. Basically, the invoice is in the name of principal, but the service bacho is given by DCA to third party of temporary loan. Yes, Celia? The question is whether this loan amount, the interest basically, the interest on this loan amount will be added or not added in the value of supply. Means, just try to understand, the service given by DCA to third party, will it be part of principal's invoice? Understood earlier? Everybody? Check. What is the service bacho? First of all, you're extending loan. है ना? Who is giving the loan? The del creditor agent to the buyer, for which the DCA is going to charge interest. है ना? Whether this interest will be included in the value of goods being supplied by the supplier. Clear? Is it okay till here? Did you understand the question? Loan and interest is going to charge bacho. है ना? So plus interest, this is the question. Don't write down anything yet, okay? So loan plus interest or just, invoice plus interest or just invoice? In such scenario, following activities are taking place. Supply of goods from supplier to the recipient, that is okay, no problem. It can be direct supply also. Supply of agency services, yeah, from DCA to principal, okay? Principal. Or recipient also, chalo, buyer. Or both. Yes, Celia? Fine. Supply of loan services by DCA to the recipient. This much also you understood. Principal selling goods, then DCA giving agency services to both of them because he is representing assets both the parties, and DCA giving loan to the third party. These three things are happening. Okay. It is clarified. The clarification is given by the department. It is clarified that in cases where DCA is not an agent, okay? Based on Paragraph Schedule 1, this temporary loan transaction being provided by DCA to the buyer is supply of service by DCA to the recipient on principal to principal basis and as an independent supply. कुछ समझा के नहीं? Tell me. Whether the principal will add interest in his invoice? Answer is no. Good. Khushbu okay till here, Indrajit? Will there be one more invoice? Answer is yes. Okay. From DCA to third party. Invoice about give me my interest. Is it clear till here? I'm writing here no. You can write down in your own language. Okay. So to make this table quickly. First of all, he is not an agent as per Paragraph Schedule 1. Why? Because the goods, supply of goods and invoices by principal to the principal. Then DCA gives what to loan services. So it is an independent supply of service. I'm writing here also.
Recording stopped.
हो गया बच्चों? ओके कूल. ओके समझा? ओके चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Recording in progress.
That was first case. ठीक है. Then second. अच्छा where were we? हाँ. Therefore, the interest being charged by DCA would not form part of the value of supply of the principal. Yes, Indrajit. Try now. I think you had messaged me something. DM, try Indrajit, DM once. If it is, I'll tell you. Yeah, got it. Yes, Indrajit. Well, DCA is an agent. Ready, everybody? DCA is an agent under Para 3 Schedule 1. Okay, chalo. So again, I'm writing a principal, DCA, third party. Chalo, let's see. Okay. Easy बच्चों. Now schedule 1 agent, yes he is. Okay. And makes payment to the principal. This guy made a payment to the principal on behalf of the buyer and charges interest to the buyer for delayed payments along with the value of goods being supplied. Whether the interest will form part of the value of goods, value of supply of goods also or not. Okay. Who charges obviously interest to the buyer? The DCA, na? है ना? ठीक है? Ready? Again, same thing. Let us check. In the scenario, the following activities are taking place: supply of goods by supplier to DCA. Okay. Further supply. Now, but as soon as you say further supply, means the invoice is issued in the name of DCA. Yes, till here. Yes. Supply of agency services by DCA to and DCA as well as by to the principal as well as the buyer, and credit बच्चों by DCA to the buyer. Is it okay, everybody? अरे हाँ या ना? In a way, principal to DCA, goods. Yes, and DCA to third party, goods and invoice. Is it okay, everybody? If you remember, but this is also supply, na? By the way, that is okay. But you're talking about DCA. Can you go ahead, everybody? Huh? Chalo. It is clarified that in cases where DCA is an agent of Para 3 Schedule 1 and the temporary short-term transaction based credit being provided by DCA to the buyer no longer retains its character as an independent supplier and is subsumed, that is absorbed part in the supply of goods by DCA. कुछ समझा क्या? Now it is not principal to third party, it is बच्चों now DCA to third party, and DCA is also providing short-term loan. Understood or no? Everybody? Principal gave to DCA, principal got money from DCA, principal is happy. Clear? But invoice is from DCA to third party. Correct, clear? And again, loan is also from DCA to third party. So, बच्चों, in DCA's invoice, this will also be added. Interest. Clear? अरे हाँ या ना? Star mark here. It is emphasized that activity of extension of credit by DCA, it is a credit to the recipient, would not be considered as a separate supply as it is in the context of the supply of goods made by DCA to the recipient. This is bachcho the part of law na now here. The extension of credit is what? It is part and parcel of the first contract or original contract or original transaction, that supply of goods. For that transaction only ancillary bachcho, he is providing what? Credit also. It is further clarified that the value of interest charged for such credit would be required to be included in the value of supply of goods by DCA to the buyer. Yes, that is as it is, will come under section 15 also later on. Value of goods, value of supply, sorry. Pay attention. So what did you understand? So goods, okay, and whatever. And again same thing, this guy is again giving whatever he's charging plus interest. Understood or no? Yes, still here? So it is part of, the interest bachcho is part of DCA's invoice. Understood? Remaining things I am removing from here, the supply, extension, this and that. Okay, all of you, that is okay? You can write down again in your own language that when DCA is a Para 3 Schedule 1 agent and he gives credit or loan to the third party or interest he charges, then in DCA's invoice that interest will also be added. Okay?
Recording stopped.
सर
बोलो.
वो इसके पहले वाला जो पेज है ना उसमें जो सबसे नीचे लिखा है ना उसका मीनिंग क्या होता है?
Okay. This one?
हाँ
हाँ.
तो 15 प्लस सर्विस हाँ
Services by way of extending deposit. Extend मतलब देना. Okay. Deposit. Loans or advances. In so far as the consideration is what? Interest or discount other than interest involved on credit card services. On this GST is not charged. Okay. We can charge GST on or we can charge by way of on this part. एक बार चेक करो पर 15 किधर दिया है ऊपर ना. तुम किसी को दे रहे हो डिपॉजिट. ओके. टेम्पररीली. ओके. मान लो रिफंडेबल डिपॉजिट है. लेट अस से दिस अबाउट बच्चों दिस इज रिफंडेबल डिपॉजिट. यस चलिए. एंड देन उसके आगे तुमको मिल क्या रहा है? इन सो फार एज द कंसिडरेशन इज व्हाट? इंटरेस्ट or discount. Discounting means again is what you are getting. Let us say you discount the bill of exchange. You can discount that also, na? Then that is what that is called as what? Service. It will be in the category of service. Okay. I mean, here what are they trying to say? Under which category this transaction will be applicable? Okay. It is independent supply. It means a different supply. Goods is good. That is fine. Na? Goods is okay. But then which supply is this? Service supply. But service of which? Again, category. Okay. Extending deposits, loans or advances. And against that you're getting obviously interest. Fine.
Recording in progress.
Done till here? But look this point, look at their okay, look at their formatting. Okay, this point, just check here. Okay, if at all you have taken loan, okay, understand. If you have taken home loan, vehicle loan or any kind of cash credit loans, you are repaying what? Interest or no? हाँ है ना? Normally. Let us say let us talk from borrower's point of view, okay? And let me write down here deposit or loan or whatever. Forget the word deposit right now, but whatever. Loan and advance, same thing. And there is a bank or whoever lender, NBFC, whatever. Now, that look at this formatting. This is not done here. That's why I was wondering. They are exempt by entry number 27. They are what is exempt? There is no GST, bachcho, by the way. There is no GST. Look at that. Okay. So even if you have taken a loan, home loan, personal loan, you are repaying the interest. Yes. The bank cannot or is not charging you GST. Are you getting my point or no? Yes. Because generally GST is there on what? Supply of goods or services. So this is also a supply, na? It is a supply of service. What? What is the service? Giving, extension or providing loan. Clear till here? Otherwise people will die while repaying GST on that interest also. Hai na? Fine till here? Other than interest involved on credit card services. We are going to discuss lots of things, but other than, that means what? Other than. So it is not exempt. That means what? Interest on credit card. On that, GST is applicable. I had by mistake once missed on that payment of paying of this GST, not payment of paying of credit card. I had bank account in one account, but the credit card was of another account, and I forgot of repaying that amount by due date, something like that. And they got a good bill amount of interest, and on that interest, GST was charged. Okay, everybody, are you getting my point? On other loans, etc. amounts, GST is not charged. But credit card, again, why? Because credit card becomes a luxury. Normally, again, we are looking from the this point of view. Okay. From GST oral point of view. Okay, so remaining other loans are obviously necessity. On that GST is not charged. Credit card bachcho, credit card interest on that GST is charged. Okay, can you go ahead, everybody? Chalo. Import of service have we covered? Import of service. Schedule 1 means what again? Without consideration. Correct or no? Fine. Chalo. Clarification on sales promotion scheme. Sales promotion. on that question is asked. What sales promotion बच्चों can you see? Special offers, best offers, buy two get one free, है ना? Generally the बच्चों they call it BOGO I think, है ना? Buy one get one. Okay, correct. End of season sale. Then there is also a slab based discount. 2000 rupees 5% discount. If you buy 5000 rupees, one bag given. 10,000 rupees, one trip given. Something like all of these, those things. Yes, everybody? Okay? Huh? Okay. A number of sales promotion schemes are commonly employed by businesses to increase sales volume or to encourage use of trial of a product or services so that the new customers get attracted towards the product. Laws, but to GST laws or any laws can't tell you what to do and what not to do, है ना? So these things will keep on happening. So person may want to give it free of cost, possible. For instance, certain sections of trade and industries such as pharmaceutical often provide drug samples to their stockists, dealers, medical practitioners, etc. Small samples. Okay, smallest, very small sample. Or sometimes the companies announce offers like buy one get one, buy one soap and get one soap free, or get one toothbrush free along with the purchase of toothpaste. Wow, bete, nice. Okay, everybody. Any other sample you have seen in anything products? New samples? Small oil bottle, I think, maybe hair oil, something very small, mini, tiny, you know, something new. Anyways, or maybe with some soap they have given some shampoo, something new, possible. Okay, one sachet of that trial. As we have already seen that, as per 7(1)(a), the goods or services which are supplied free of cost, that is without consideration, okay, shall not be a supply except they are mentioned in schedule 1. Hi Anna, clear till here? In view of the same, few sales promotion schemes have been examined as under on these questions are asked. Free samples and gifts. Samples, okay, which are supplied free of cost without any consideration do not qualify as supply under GST, okay, except whether but that particular activity falls under schedule 1. We'll discuss all of this also later on, okay, ITC on inputs and so on, so what is to be done, okay. Buy one get one. It may appear at first that you are buying one and actually getting the second one free, but here even as per GST laws bachcho, you are buying two quantity at the price of one. It does not look at the point of view. You are buying one full transaction and the second one is completely free. That is one point of view. Or they are saying that you're buying two, you can say quantity, but at the price of one. So it may appear at first glance that in case of buy one get one, one item is completely supplied free of cost. No. In fact, it is not an individual supply of free goods, but a case of two or more individual supplies where a single price is being charged for the entire supply. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, one is supply and other is not supply. It is not like that. Both of them are supplied at single price. It can at best be treated as supplying two goods at the price of one. Okay. So that one obviously is taxable. Means whatever the price you are charging, you sell now, you give now 2 quantities, 5 quantities, 10 quantities, we don't care. Whatever you want to do the packaging or marketing and pricing, that is completely your choice. And as a seller, we will take it as supply. Understood or no, bachcho? Everybody? So what is the view over here? Supplying 2 quantities at the price of 1. Taxability of such supply will depend upon whether the supply is a composite supply or a mixed supply. Okay. Now we are coming to important discussion again. And the rate of tax shall be determined again according to that concept, whether it is a composite supply or mixed supply. Okay. We might have heard this word before. Composition scheme we had heard. Okay, yes. But generally, normally, what do you mean by composite? Composite? Normal meaning I want. Composite also means mixed, correct? Yeah, fine. Yeah. So composite in a way I'll say inherently mixed. Inherently means deeply mixed or very much quickly involved, or not quickly, but yes, very much involved. There are obviously now I'm talking of mixture here, So 2 or 3 items. हाँ है ना बच्चों, clear till here? Have you heard of farsan? Correct. Composite entry is also there. Correct. Farsan बच्चों, farsan, have you eaten farsan बच्चों? What do I say now? All the 4 or 5 items are mixed over there बच्चों. हाँ है ना बच्चों, clear? हाँ, they are also mixed. But have you also बच्चों eaten, let us say, chocolate box? Means what I'm talking about, Cadbury celebration. Are all the bunch of chocolates what opened and put together? Is it are the chocolates mixed together as such? Are you eating bunch of all the chocolates together? Means what? Are they mixed together? No. Or a dry fruit box. You have heard of dry fruit box? Might have seen. है ना? No, there are different categories of dry fruits. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Clear? हाँ, Diwali boxes. Yeah. Correct. Right. So when they are inherently or closely together, है ना, for each other, that we will call it as composite. When they are brought together, it is mixed. Understood? Arranged marriage, mix. Love, composite. Okay? That is not an actual true, you can say, understanding, but yeah, right now. Okay, everybody? A laptop, can I sell laptop bachu without charger? Apple can do that. But normal I'm talking about, normally. Can I bachu sell a laptop bachu without charger normally? No. So is it two supplies? Supplies of laptop and supply of charger? No. Correct clear everybody? It is a composite supply. Yes, Celia? But bachu, as a, you can say again, a promotion, I am selling a laptop and a printer. Laptop and a printer. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Or a laptop and a pen drive also, or hard disk also, or mouse and peripherals. Peripherals, I hope you understand. Again, it is a big kit only. Okay, kit means again entirely everything. That is what mixed supply. Yes or no? Everybody? Clear? Chalo. Can we go ahead, everybody? So activities or transaction to be treated as supply of goods or, underline the word bacho, or supply of service. Schedule 2, na? Remember, everybody? Schedule 2. Can we go ahead, everybody? Section 7(1)(a). Classify certain activities transactions either as goods or services. Okay. Schedule 2 contains list of activities to be undertaken as supply of goods or service. I mean, that is just for the sake of check. It helps in mitigating, that means reducing the ambiguities in the earlier laws. Right? Finally, here. Tomorrow again there are some changes happening only for goods, or some changes happening but only for services. And just now I think sometime before we checked na bachcho, principal to agent, agent to principal, service on that GST was not there. Especially again that schedule 1 para 3, remember or no? So there is law separate for goods, there is a law separate for services. Can be, there is a possibility. So especially on certain items, okay, both of them are applicable, goods as well as services. They have given the clarification. Understood or no, everybody? अरे बोलो हाँ, है ना? Check. Under earlier tax regime, the restaurants used to charge both service tax and VAT on the value of food served. This is so because both sale of goods and services were involved, and therefore taxable event under both the laws were applicable, respective, that is VAT and service tax. है ना? Under GST, the supply of restaurant is treated as composite. Very much closely together. है ना? What? The service in the restaurant, taking an order, giving you, I mean, serving and all of that, the entire everything, whatever is happening, है ना? And the main obviously ingredient, food, that is goods, correct? It is composite. Since foods and services naturally bundle, look at the nice wordings. They are naturally coming together in the ordinary course of business. Who bachcho? Who? The food and the service, the goods and the service, they are naturally coming together to make the supply. Okay, so all these entries that which we are going to see. Okay, For so further, entry 6B of Schedule 2 specifically provide that such composite supply shall be treated as supply of service. Fine. So goods or service, but what have they undertaken it as? Mainly service. Here, okay. The entire value of invoice shall be treated as value of service and GST will be levied accordingly. Right now we don't have, but again, like I said, some exemptions or some different rules for the service might happen. Hey, Kini? Understood earlier, all of you? Are haan? Can I go ahead? The matters listed out in Schedule 2 are primarily those which are again had an issue in the earlier laws. Okay, so here they were trying to give you clarification. Ready? And mainly there is goods and service. Understand, please. Hi, Anna, everybody. Let us say I do the painting on my car or painting on my vehicle, two-wheeler, whatever. Paint is a good, painting is a service. Hi, Anna. Printing of books, bachu, what do you think? Printing of, we will have those cases, na? We are going to do those cases. Printing of books, I gave my PDF file to be printed. What am I getting in return? Pages printed. Hi, na? So there is a service of printing, obviously, the entire process. And the ink, the page, all of that. That is also goods. Understood or no? Yes, everybody. There are small things which you don't realize. Correct? But then they have given the bifurcation between goods and services. Clear till here? So transfer. Now look at the activity. Transfer. Transfer means you understand sale generally. Any transfer of title in goods. Title in goods. Title. What have you? We have not discussed, but I hope you remember what is HP, hire, not house property, hire purchase. Hire purchase. Are we transferring bacho title in hire purchase? Okay. We don't transfer bacho title in hire purchase. Hi, Anna. That is use of goods. That will be service. Here bacho I am transferring the ownership itself. Hi, Anna. So when I am transferring the title in goods, it is supply of goods. Right or wrong? Shivaji sells ready-made garments to his customer and supply of time pass. Any transfer of right in goods, or undivided shares in goods without title, without transfer of title, that is supply of service. So Genius Equipment gives some machinery on rent. Yes, Celia? So right to use. Yes, Celia? Or I am giving bacho, same thing, right? To use a property also, land also, है ना? Correct, Celia? That is supply of services. Then any transfer of title in goods under an agreement which says that property in goods shall pass at a future date upon payment of full consideration as agreed. Okay, is about to supply of goods only. Property in goods. Future date. Ownership, is it ownership transfer? No. Shall pass. The title bacho shall pass at a future date when the entire payment is done. So Dhuru Capital supplied goods on hire purchase. Ooh, remember? So bacho till the time it is hire purchase going on, it is service. Hai na? Everybody? And let us say bacho when they receive the last installment, it is supply of goods. Okay? Fine, Ilya? So supplied goods on hire purchase basis to the customers. Then Optima manufactures supplies toys to retailers on sale or return basis. Is the ownership transferred? Not yet. After 6 months, whatever the time period is given. Hai na? So once the time period is expired, you have done it again in CA Foundation accounts also, sale or return basis. Hai na? In SOGA also, sale or return basis. The ownership bacho will transfer in future. Till that time, okay, here I just want to make a small rectification. Till that time, bacho, it is what? Supply of goods only. Even in case of HP also. Okay, look at this example. Supplied goods on HP basis is also bacho supply of goods only. Okay, everybody? Because there is a condition given that we will transfer title in future. But here, bacho, there is no condition of transfer of title in future. Clearly, this clearly said, it is my, it was always my, and it was always be mine only. Clearly here? Can we go ahead, everybody? Yeah? Chalo. Land and building. What have we discussed about real estate? Sale of land building, GST was not applicable, by the way, remember or no? But related to that, if you're giving some service. So check. Any lease, tenancy, easement, license to occupy land, है ना? Yes, Celia? We'll see the circular also. Fine, no issues. But it is supply of services. Understood, everybody? Now, those of you who may be staying in a PG or a hostel or whatever, you might be saying, sir, do we charge GST on residential area also? Answer is no, because that is what a necessity. Are you getting my point or no, बच्चों? समझा कि नहीं समझा? For residential purpose I'm talking about. For what, बच्चों? Residential purpose, giving the property on rent. On that GST is not leviable. But giving a property on rent for a classroom or again a commercial purpose, on that GST is applicable. Got everybody? Got it, everybody? अरे हाँ या ना? Clear ना? Can you go ahead? चलो. So any lease or letting out of building, including a commercial, industrial or residential, pay attention, or residential complex, but for business or commerce, wholly or partly. Now you can give anything on the rent. You can give a shop on the rent. You can give a complex on rent. You can give anything on the rent for business purposes. So even if you are giving a residential complex, okay, or unit, but for business purpose, then bachcho again it is a supply of service. Yes, Celia? So which one is not a supply of service? Residential unit for residential purpose. Understood or no, everybody? So underline the word residential unit for business purpose. I mean, all of these remaining are obviously for business purpose only, but even residential unit, bachcho, for business purpose only is your, under that it can come under supply of service. Yes? Is it okay? Hi, Anna. Treatment or process. Any treatment or process which is applied to another person's goods. Again, a job contract, works contract. There is a painter, then there is a welder who does welding work, okay? And a person wants to get his work done. So that the goods are sent from one location to another for the purpose of that particular work only.
I didn't get that.
Let us say there is a garage. That garage person says, okay, I'll do this particular work. First, he will do all the servicing and all of that, cleaning and all. But he says, no, for painting I have to go to some other place. I'll get the painting done over there. So he sends goods to another location. Clear till here? Hi, Anna. This is like your bailment if you remember. So any treatment or process which is applied on another person's goods. Yes, till here, all of you? Yeah. That is supply of services. So Damani Dyeing House dyes the clothes given by Shivam Textiles Limited on job work basis. Is it okay? Job work means again contract basis per work wise. Chalo. Transfer of business assets. Can I call them as capital assets also now? Hi, Anna. Check. Goods forming part of business assets. Arey yaar. Goods forming part of business assets are transferred or disposed of by or under directions of persons carrying on the business so as no longer to form part of those assets are transferred or disposed of by or under direction of persons carrying on the business. The goods are disposed of as per the instruction of the person carrying on the business so as no longer to form part of those assets, so as bachcho no longer forming part of that business basically. Anyways, it is what supply of goods. You are disposing of the goods. Goods held used for business are put to private use, important, or are made available to any person for use for any purpose other than business. Means what? If you buy goods for business purpose, what is the law saying here? You should use it for business purpose also. You purchase goods, you claimed ITC, use it also for business purpose. Okay. You purchase goods, used ITC, and you are giving it here and there, or not using for business purpose. That will be treated as supply of service. Okay, everybody? So goods were held or used for business purpose earlier are now being put to private use. It is like what I think we have done in capital gains also, na? Something like that. Can I say it is removing? They are removing from stock in trade to your personal assets now. Hi, Anna. Clearly, all of you. Let's look at, and we have also done with a slump sale, by the way. Slump sale, remember or no? Slump sale or sale of your business assets. So there will be supply of goods. Goods forming part of assets. Goods forming part of assets of any business carried on by a person who ceases to be a taxable person. Chalo, right, pay attention now. Goods forming part of assets, the overall block of any person, of any business carried on by a person who ceases to be a taxable person. Who ceases, when he stops to be a taxable person, means he is no more liable under GST. Shall be deemed to be that means Bacho is winding up his business, he is closing his business. Understand? Disposal, okay? There is a disposal of whatever assets are remaining and is closing down the business. The thing is, Bacho, on those assets he had claimed, or on those goods he had claimed ITC. There is stock, okay? Okay, everybody? There is stock he had purchased. On that ITC he had claimed. The stock is lying, but he's closing the business because of losses. Now he's disposing of those goods. Understood, everybody? Overall GST law is what? If you have claimed ITC, we want that benefit also. If you're giving it, just disposing it off free of cost also, whatever. But then reverse the ITC. समझा या bouncer? Huh? Indrajit? Kushbu? What is the logic over here? The chain of credit. If you have claimed ITC, we want output also. If you have not claimed ITC, then there is no problem, then sell it off. No problem. So when you bought goods, you purchased goods, you claimed ITC, you reduce your, that time you reduce your liability or no by claiming ITC. And all the stocks are lying idle and you're just disposing it off or giving it away. Yes, Chalya? Then even if you're giving it away, Bacho, we will still treat it as supply of goods. Look at the examples. Arun, a trader, is winding up his business. Any goods left in the stock will be deemed to be left, stock, just lying stock, shall be deemed to have been supplied by him. What will be the value, this and that? That we'll see in chapter 15. I'm not chapter 15, sorry, around section 15. Value of supply. Okay, everybody? Okay? So, goods forming part of assets of any business carried on by a business. This is done. This is are transferred or disposed of. Okay? Supply of goods. Exceptions. Business is transferred as a going concern to another person. That is completely okay. So that will not be supply of goods. Business is carried on by a personal representative who is deemed to be a taxable person. That means somebody else is taking over the business. That is also okay. Fine, everybody? Somebody else is taking over the business. It is not being completely wound up. Done? Fifth one. Ready? Chalo. Renting of immobile property. Renting of a commercial complex. Renting of precincts of a religious place. Precincts means again nearby area. You can just say a nearby area. You might have seen, Bacho, some religious places, let us say temple, and in and around temple you have lots of free area, maybe. I'm talking of a big temple. And in that area, near the temple, there may be lots of shops, possible. Have you seen or no? That entire area is managed by the temple. Let us say temple, okay? A religious place. Near the temple, but there are lots of shops selling obviously goods required in the temple. That can be one case. Or there are some bigger temples which have a bigger place and then they have built properly, what do you call that? what do you call them, that not hotels but stay lodge, let us call it as lodge, है ना, for staying बच्चों, they have prepared that building, that the pilgrimage, what do you call them, those people can come and stay, है ना, that can be one case. Or one more case I'll say, they have also have a lawn or a garden or some area under near the temple which they give on the rent for again any kind of functions. Understood everybody? Yeah, clear or no? Then renting of property even to an educational institution. Then permitting means allowing use of immovable property for placing vending or dispensing machines. Again, it is rent you are paying, but you to keep the machine. Yes, vending machine. Clear till here? That is what all these are, बच्चों, your supply of services, है ना, use of immovable property in that case. Understood or no, all of you? Tell me, अरे हाँ बोलो. Schedule 3 is what? Exemptions. Okay, I mean at least they are neither goods nor services. Yes, everybody, can we go ahead? Where are we? Chalo. Construction, star mark. This is again, you have to know, I mean it impacts very highly in your law of real estate or GST. Construction of complex building or civil structure. Any kind of complex building or civil structure. Construction of a complex building or civil structure or a part thereof, including a complex or a building intended for sale. Why are you constructing it? You want to sell it to a buyer, wholly or partly, except whether entire consideration has been received after issuing of completion certificate. Okay, where required by the competent authority or after its first occupancy, whichever is earlier. This is supply of service. Again, read बच्चों. Construction. What services are we going? That's what I'm telling you. It is called a service. You are giving service of constructing the structure, framework of the building, everything, leveling the ground, putting the foundation, building the structure, RCC, putting the cement, stones, bricks, steel, whatever. That is बच्चों mainly service. Even if you're using goods, है ना, it is mainly बच्चों provision of services. Okay, but when it is not a service and as well as neither goods, except where the entire consideration is received after issuing of CC or first occupancy. Possible. This literally also lots of time happens that 99% of the work is done. 99% of the work is done. Some is remaining, fewer remaining, and then after that the compliance, then the corporation comes, gives you the certificate, all of that. That may take 1 or 2 months. Before that only some people come and stay. Quite possible. Okay, because already the project was delayed. They have to pay rent, this and that, whatever. Okay, everybody. Yeah. So again, I'm repeating for the last time now. If you buy a property, if you buy a ready-made property, you're buying it for the first time from the builder. Ready-made property after this completion certificate or first occupancy has been there. On that, it is neither goods nor services, no GST. Entire amount paid for a ready-made flat. Ready-made means it is already completed. Then even if you're buying from a buyer or anybody else, no GST. Clear till here? That means when GST bachcho will be applicable? Only if the construction was going on. You have entered into agreement in the under construction property. You have made an agreement with the builder before issuance of this certificate. Understood or no? Everybody? Huh? All of you okay till here? Check. Rati Builders has constructed individual residential units for agreed construction of 1.2 crore per unit. 90 lakhs were received before issuance. Gone. On that which GST will be applicable. हाँ या ना? Or even vice versa. What is the only exemption? Entire consideration after CC completion certificate. Okay. So in this example, 90 lakhs received before CC. Okay. Remaining things is completely okay. Then temporary transfer or permitting use of enjoyment of any intellectual property rights, use of IPR, or giving somebody IPR to use. Okay, that is what temporary transfer for or permitting use of that IPR. And temporary transfer of patent. Development, design, programming, customization, adaptation, upgradation, enhancement, the implementation of IT software. Anything much about IT software is sub-service. The Suvidha providers develops an accounting software for the business, that is service. Agreeing to obligation to refrain from an act. Oh, non-compete. Noish. Or to tolerate an act or situation or to do an act. Okay, this bachcho can be a non-compete also. This also is what? Service only check. Ready? Cable operator Sakharam has entered into an agreement with cable operator Atmaram that Sakharam will not provide cable connections in the specified areas where Atmaram is providing, vice versa, whatever. This non-compete agreement is bachcho service. Late delivery charges recovered from supplier for non-fulfillment of contract within stipulated time. Star mark. So you are charging बच्चों late delivery charges. है ना? That is also बच्चों what? Supply of service. You getting money or no extra money? Hey भगवान. Fine clear all of you? Yeah? Even that is बच्चों what? Supply. Then of service. Notice pay recovered from employee for leaving the job before agreed period of notice for leaving a job. Wow, beta. There is something bachcho called as notice period. Have you heard bachcho notice period? Putting down of papers. That is also called as putting down of papers. Means what? You are leaving the job. Hai ki nahi? And let us say there is some hold on.
Recording stopped.
हाँ मैम हो मी बोलतो मॅम एक 10 मिनिटातच कॉल करतो चालेल या करतो लगेच करतो हां या
Recording in progress.
नोटिस पीरियड यस एवरीबॉडी कितने कॉल आते हैं यार दिन भर मेरे को पागल हो जाता हूँ मैं हाँ व्हाट वर डिस्कसिंग या नोटिस पीरियड फाइन जनरली बच्चों I had told these guys to tell, I don't know. Anyways, it is available on YouTube today. Anyways, come back to the discussion. Generally, the notice period is of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depends from case to case. Okay? So, if the employee has left without notice period or he gives a shorter notice period, okay? And now the employer is deducting from his salary. Okay? The part, whatever has been agreed. Okay? Or at times there are bonds also. There are bunch of bonds also. There will be a bond for 2 years. You can't leave the job before 2 years. If you do, we will sue you. Or not sue you, then we'll recover some money from you. Okay, everybody? So even that, whatever money you are getting from employee because of this, because of serving lower notice period, even that is much of supply of service. Yes. Transfer of right to use any goods for any purpose, whether or not specified, for cash. Deferred payment means future or other valuable consideration, exchange, barter. Again, that is example machinery given on hire. Supply of service. And last part, let us check quickly. Following composite supply. But what did I say composite? Means integratedly together, na? Very much close together. Goods and where does goods start, where does service stop? Does not, it is kind of not sure. So what do you mean by works contract? Means a contract for building, construction and all of that. Okay, any immovable property wherein transfer of property in goods is involved in execution of such contract. Yes, tell you. I have also told you, but let us say your furniture, your construction of furniture, your fixed furniture. Even that is, bacho, all your what? वर्क्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ओनली. Okay, but still check there is your transfer of property. हाँ या ना, ultimately you get a furniture wala means you do get the work done. He is giving you ownership of that furniture also, na? Correct, everybody? So mainly this is used in the case of your building, etc. Okay, or any immovable property, that is supply of service. Supply by way of or as part of any service or any other matter whatsoever of goods being, pay attention, of goods being food or any other article for human consumption or any drink other than your alcohol, where such supply or service is for cash deferred payment. Why not, but it is getting part of, why it is not right now part of restaurant then? We had clearly seen that restaurant also, yes or no? Restaurant example. So here they're keeping it very general, supply of food or any drink, है ना? Any service, supply of food, any other drink. This will include bachcho. You can write on the restaurant. Can you give me any other example where food is supplied apart from restaurant? Don't tell me your kitchen and all. I'm talking about for that you'll have to pay money. Somebody will have to pay the money. Langar is free of cost, Indrajit. Kuch bhi. Langar is charity. Food. That is supply of goods, beta. When you buy from grocery, when you buy from a kirana shop, when you buy from a store, it is a supply of goods. Arey. Supply by way of or as a part of. Do you understand the difference between food and goods? When you buy kurkure, it is goods, not food. It is eatable, but food. Understand food. Swiggy, ultimately what is happening, Swiggy? You're buying from restaurant only. है ना? Swiggy is not making food for you, na? You're just giving me a name, example of restaurant in a way. हाँ. Food, बच्चों, food. Okay, I'll give you examples. Leave it. Okay, catering. Catering, you understand? Canteen. Restaurant or canteen is okay, but catering in functions. That is also supply of food, na? At a location. Clear? And supply of goods. Supply of goods by an unincorporated association or body of persons to a member thereof for cash. I mean to their own members. But it is supply of goods. Okay. So by a association to its members at a very marginalized, you can say discounted price. So Resident Welfare Association of Sanskriti Society supplies ACs to its members at what, bachcho? Concessional price. Yes, Chalia? That is supply of goods. Fine, everybody? हाँ ना? चलेगा everybody? चलेगा? Okay, everybody. So since ultimately even if you are providing to your own members goods, okay, that is what, but still supply of goods only. Category as supply of goods. Yes, everybody? मजा आया? Please revise PYQ, MPT, MTP, RTP. Okay, concepts so will clear. Revision you have to do. Please start with revision. I'm telling you. Okay, income tax, law, everything. Sincerely start revision whenever you get extra time. Okay, whichever groups you are doing, take out time for that also. Okay, everybody. Chalo. So that's it for right now for GST's lecture. Okay, for today.
Recording stopped.
चलेगा? चलो बच्चों, see you. Bye bye. हाँ, इंद्र जी want to join? You can join at 6:30 for law fast track. Bye bye. टाटा. कल का लेक्चर का कल तुम्हारा रहेगा 11:15 बजे के आसपास. 11:15, 11:30, 8 से 9:30, 9:45, 9:45 से 11:15, 11:15, 11:30 बच्चों वी कैन मीट. ओके. और वो अक्षय को बताया करो जब भी GST कल 11:30 बजे लॉ, सेकेंड हाफ GST. ओकीज. ओके टाटा बाय. टाटा. ठीक है. और उसको बोल दो यूट्यूब पे देख ले फिलहाल के लिए. बाय बाय. ऑनलाइन वालों, यूट्यूब वालों, बाय।